Bullet hell, bullet hell, bullet hell. Come get your bullet hell. I'm Andrew from Hidden Machine, and boy, we got bullets, we got hell, we got bullets in hell, hell and bullets in hell. We got Doomed to Hell. Released in March of 2022, last month as of right now, Doomed to Hell is a quirky, roguelike, top-down bullet hell shooter with those three sacred words:
Light RPG elements.
Hidden Machine was given a hot and spicy review copy, and I've never been more excited to go to hell. Except maybe for Doom Eternal, but to be honest, I haven't even really tried it yet. I know it's going to be really hard, and I just need to prepare myself. The story sees our protagonist, a man named Rose, killed in an accident and sent directly to the devil's doorstop. Once getting to hell, Rose notices that hell is, well, filling up, and there's no room left for the dead. Fortunately, the devil has a great idea. Since hell is now full, all of its inhabitants will fight to the death, and whoever comes out on top shall be sent back to the world of the living. It seems a little bit short-sighted though, because it's not like the dead people are just gonna disappear after being killed. I mean, this is hell. It's where they go. Anyway, the devil is kind enough to gift you a small handgun so that you may stand a chance in this hellish hunger game, or pentagram PUBG, or fiery Fortnite, or whatever Fallout 76 Battle Royale mode was called. It was surprisingly actually pretty good. You should check out our video on it.
76 is like your son who graduated top of his class, only to drop out of college, start two punk bands, and move back home. You still love him, but disappointed would be an understatement.
You use this gun and other guns and swords to vanquish other doomed souls in this hellish eternal conflict. Doomed to hell. Doom Eternal. I don't know, man. The reality here is that Doomed to Hell is very competent, and I think fans of top-down shooters and bullet hells will enjoy it. The graphics are very appealing. The colors especially work really well. I don't play a ton of games like this, and when I do, I usually feel this way, so maybe I'm an idiot, but I did still seem to struggle with seeing enemy bullets at times, though not as much as I did in Hell is Other Demons. Oh, wow. I'm just now realizing how similar these two games are in like every single obvious way. But whatever, they're both cool. Do these visuals remind anyone else of Codename Kids Next Door? I don't really know why, but it just does for some reason. And that's not a bad thing. Also, I very much appreciated the screen shake slider. Stuff like that always messes me up in games, and having the option is just great. I'm struggling really to talk about the main mechanics of the game. It's not that they're too complex or anything, it's just that like everything you'd want and expect to be here is. I believe each level is 5 waves of increasingly difficult enemies. You shoot them and they die and you don't. Between each wave, you can choose one of 3 random buffs like restoring your health, upping your attack speed, or knockback. These power-ups are temporary and only last through this level, not the wave, the entire level. Fortunately, you can collect coins throughout each wave, and you can spend them on some things in the shop in between levels. The shop offers new weapons and permanent stat upgrades, though these upgrades are lost on death. More on that in a minute. Like other roguelike games, this allows for a lot of customizability and to let you dynamically change your build to fit the scenario you find yourself in. Pretty sweet. There's only a few nitpicky things I could find with Doomed to Hell. Now let me lead by saying that I played for a few hours and couldn't make it past the first boss. So maybe things are different after that point, but here's a few things that I noticed. The music is fitting, but I found the sound design to be a bit dry. There was no visual or audio cue for critical hits that I could see, and most of the sound effects sounded more like doors being shut or wet towels being dropped on the floor rather than demons and shotgun blasts. Though this could be the vibe they were looking for. Another thing that I've seen others comment on is the camera. You're very zoomed in during combat, and I found myself getting hit from off-screen enemy projectiles more than anything else. That's probably standard for bullet hell affair, but I found that since your character stays centered, when you move to the edges of the map, you can lose like half of your vision to the void. In a game where staying mobile is an absolute must, losing that much ground really makes it a lot tougher for me. Maybe when you get closer to the edges of the map, the camera could anchor somewhere just kind of close so that you're not losing as much vision. Sounds like an item that you'd pick up in Binding of Isaac. Lastly, as this is a game where you die a lot, I was surprised to see that the world, at least up to that first boss, doesn't seem to change much or at all in between runs. The shopkeeper says the same things and there's no real differences besides the different loot offered. Otherwise, I do kind of wish that there were more options for actually permanent upgrades that lasted after death. Those would be almost necessary for someone like me to make progress. I'm admittedly not great at these kinds of games, but even trying pretty hard to optimize my build and really focusing on the boss's patterns, I wasn't able to make it through. Also, I really just do not know how you're supposed to dodge stuff like this. It's more likely that I'm just trash, not that the game's bad, but man, what do you do? Either way, Doomed to Hell is pretty dang good. I'm excited to see more from this developer, and I think this game will be one of their bigger steps in their career going forward. Have you played Doomed to Hell? Do you play a lot of bullet hell games? I'm looking for suggestions. Put them down in the comments and be sure to like and subscribe to Hidden Machine for more really awesome videos just like this one. Thanks so much. Bye.